Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode. Today, as I promised, I'm going to discuss about my own design process. So this one, so far I think um, is only mine. I guess if anyone if another architect has this process as well, you can comment down and tell me you don't own this. But as far as I know, every designer has their own way of doing things, and I've known other architects as well, and tried interviewing them, asking them about their design process, and it's fairly different. So right now I'm going to share with you how I do things. First off, before everything else, you will have to know your client, of course. Specifically, if you're designing, most especially when you're designing a residential home, as much as people has their own personalities, every home has their own personality, should have their own personalities, because it's going to be the end user who's going to live there and live for the rest of their lives even there. So it should be tailored to them. It should be made specifically for them. So as far as that goes, an interview is a necessity. Why? Okay, I'm gonna go in depth with that. So first off, the interview. Before the interview, you have to do your assignment. I do my assignment. I try to dig deep and do research about my clients. Like okay, if I don't know my clients, I try to at least know their profession. At least know their profession. Going to be something that will have to do with their lifestyle, at least before the interview happens. Maybe I don't know if that's just me or the need for me, because I have to have this anchor. Like I have to have this confidence in ways, if I meet somebody that I haven't met yet, like a client of mine, I have to know something about them so that I can, s- struck a conversation that I will know they will relate to. So it's going to make the process easier. It's going to make the getting to know easier. You have to get to know your client at a deep level to design them the spaces. Like you can try to you can put your feet on their shoes when you design their home for them. So okay, so let me give an example so um you can try to visualize it, guys. I hope this will help. So for example, we will have a client. He is a chef, he is a cook. Okay, so he wants his dream home tailored to him. So first off the bat, you'll know what part of the house is he going to spend a lot of time in. What part of the house will you prioritize and give emphasis to, right? You guessed it. That's the kitchen and the dining area. And my favorite area of the house, the kitchen. And speaking of the kitchen, there's also design theory for that area, specific to that area. So it's fascinating as well. It's very interesting. I'm gonna discuss that too on another episode that we're gonna do next time, guys. But for now, we're going to concentrate on the design process of the space planning of the residential home. So okay, at least you knew already. Like I want I have well I haven't had like a client that is a chef and a cook yet, but I have clients like who likes cooking and who likes what do you call this, hosting, and gathering people in their home. So that's when I know that I needed to do the kitchen really well and do a large dining area because they like hosting guests. So it was quite easy because that's my favorite part of the house, right? And I bake too and I cook. So I know what goes in and out. I know how exhausting a kitchen that is not well designed. So that's how I strike up the conversation. That's how I will strike up the conversation with this client of ours, the chef. I'm gonna talk to him about that. I'm gonna try to go in smoothly in the conversation, trying to gauge his, his interest in cooking, his way of going around the kitchen. Of course, um, cooks and chefs has their own ways as well. So you have to dig into that as well. But in general, um, the design in the kitchen, it has standards. Yeah, okay, I'm going in the kitchen now. I'm excited to discuss about that. So that's okay. I'm gonna discuss that next time. Let's move back. Let's move back to the general residential home. So okay, let's say um your client is in front of you right now because you're interviewing him, right? So this part is very important. As much as your interview with the client, you also have to observe their mannerisms. You have to observe. Really have to observe them physically as well, because sometimes people has this way of walking, way of moving around. So you have to consider those things. Like, okay, for example, let's say this cook or chef is um, disabled. Let's say he has some disabilities in walking. So you have to consider that your design as well. You have to put ramps. You have to make your the steps of your stairs comfortable for them. Of course, we have standards. We have standards, but yeah, the riser of the stairs is mostly the max. So there's no minimum. So you have to tailor those hallways and those staircases for them. Without them even asking for that, okay? You just really have to do that. You know, excuse me. So, okay, so you interview. Okay, let's say our client is in front of us right now. So you're going to ask them questions. You talk to them like knowing a friend. Knowing about their likes and dislikes, their interests. Um, yeah, just to go in depth and know their mannerisms, basically. Like, okay, let's say this chef, that our clients, that is a chef, likes to garden. Okay, he likes his produce. He likes using his produce in cooking his meal in his kitchen. So you'll know without him asking that he needs a space before he enters his home. He needs a space that he can get dirty. I mean, he's going to be farming, he's going to be gardening, so he's probably going to get dirty all over. His shoes is going to get dirty. Everything is going to get dirty. So he will need a space before he enters his home that has lavatory so he can wash, that has a space for his dirty shoes that can be easily cleaned. Because if you have cleaned a dirt on the rough tiles, it's gonna make you furious. So you want to consider that. So basically, a dirty room. He needs a dirty room before he enters his home. That might be from the front of the home or the back. It will be recommended at the back, of course. It's going to be at the back exit. So it can be inside or before he enters the back exit. It depends. So once you realize he needs that, our client needs that, you will have to ask the client if he really needs that, because sometimes, even though, yeah, we have I have this perception that they needed this thing, they needed this space, at the end of the day it's still going to be their decision if they wanted that. But the pleasure of this process is like, trying to anticipate. I really like that, trying to um trying to put your feet under your client's shoes. I'm trying to put my feet on my client's shoes, and it's good. It feels good to know that most of the times, those things that they don't say upfront, you anticipate, and they didn't even know they needed it. And you're providing them that. So that's why I really like this space. So that's how it happens, that's how it goes. It's the first phase of the design process. And yeah, of course, while I do interview, I list down those, the areas that I think they needed, and they will say they need. And you can also I also sketch, the spaces already. And that's gonna be much better. You're going to do the sketching the placement of the spaces already. um so it will be clearer. And there are times that some clients doesn't can't really visualize, so you really have to draw them. You have to consider that. I consider that, so I keep it in mind. And yeah, basically that's it. So after that, after they agree, then other phases follows. You will do the actual spaces with the measurements, and you get it approved. And then there are other phases still. And if you're interested and want to know more, you can comment down, and if it will help you, the information will help you, I can share them and guide. If you're also in this profession and you're just starting, I will it will be a pleasure to help if I will be able to help you guys. So see you next time. We'll talk about the kitchen theory. Okay, I promise. It's fun. It's fun. It's good, and it's fascinating.